From the rising of the sun to its going down, the Lord's name is to be praised. Let us open our hearts to his presence and listen for his voice in the stillness of this evening hour. Our evening sacrifice, the desire of ages, chapter 1, God with us, August 16th. My Maker and my King, to thee my all I owe. Thy sovereign bounty is the spring whence all my blessings flow. Thy sovereign bounty is the spring whence all my blessings flow. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Hebrews 4 verse 15. God commanded Moses for Israel, "Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them." Exodus 25 verse 8. And he abode in the sanctuary in the midst of his people. Through all their weary wanderings in the desert, the symbol of his presence was with them. So Christ set up his tabernacle in the midst of our human encampment. He pitched his tent by the side of the tents of men, that he might dwell among us and make us familiar with his divine character and life. The Word became flesh and tabernacled among us, as we beheld his glory, glory as of the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth. John 1 verse 14. Since Jesus came to dwell with us, we know that God is acquainted with our trials and sympathizes with our griefs. Every son and daughter of Adam may understand that our Creator is the friend of sinners. For in every doctrine of grace, every promise of joy, every deed of love, every divine attraction presented in the Savior's life on earth, we see God with us. Satan represents God's law of love as a law of selfishness. He declares that it is impossible for us to obey its precepts. The fall of our first parents, with all the woe that has resulted, he charges upon the Creator, leading men to look upon God as the author of sin and suffering and death. Jesus was to unveil this deception. As one of us, he was to give an example of obedience. For this, he took upon himself our nature and passed through our experiences. In all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. Hebrews 2 verse 17. If we had to bear anything which Jesus did not endure, then upon this point Satan would represent the power of God as insufficient for us. Therefore Jesus was in all points tempted like as we are. Hebrews 4 verse 15. He endured every trial to which we are subject, and he exercised in his own behalf no power that is not fairly offered to us. As man, he met temptation and overcame in the strength given him from God. He says, "I delight to do thy will, O my God, yea, thy law is within my heart." Psalm 40 verse 8. As he went about doing good and healing all who were afflicted by Satan, he made plain to men the character of God's law and the nature of his service. His life testifies that it is possible for us also to obey the law of God. This passage was taken from The Desire of Ages, pages 23 and 24. Pacific Press Publishing Association, copyright 2005. Our evening sacrifice, August 16th. The creature of thy hand, on thee alone I live. My God, thy benefits demand more praise than I can give. My God, thy benefits demand more praise than I can give. I encourage you to connect with God and receive strength to overcome obstacles each day. Thank you for listening. Please join us tomorrow as we offer up our evening sacrifice.